Welcome to Courageous Parenting Summit, transforming challenges into opportunities. I'm Filza Jabeen. Yes, Michelle. I am Filza Jabeen, mother of three beautiful children, teen and parents transformational leadership coach. And our vision is we are committed to empowering parents and children by building connection with love. And today we have here with us Michelle Petitpas. Am I
Close,
pronouncing it?
close,
Welcome,
close.
Michelle.
It's a
Welcome.
hard last name. If you are English, you often say Petapa, but I get lots of variations of it, and I answer to a whole lot of things because I'm telling you, it is not the easiest thing for people to say. I married it, and it's really lovely, but it is hard to say. If you're French, you'd say petit pas. So depends on which way you say it.
What do you prefer?
Ah, just call me Michelle. That's good.
Okay,
That works.
wonderful. So, welcome, Michelle. And let me introduce myself first as well. I'm Edith Wolek. I'm a transformational leadership coach and Amazon best-selling book author. And I'm a mother of three beautiful, clever children. And I want to introduce you a powerhouse lady. Michelle Petitpas is a writer, a speaker, and coach, consultant who also just happens to be a nurse. Wow. She is peaceful and present in family, hers, and with others. She is a loving, joyful, powerful leader, warrior, goddess, princess, mama bear, who might be a mermaid or an angel. She brings energy and life to all she is in the world. Her mission in life is to create love and light, to connect healing and health for transformation. There are skills she pulls out from her suitcase of life experiences that serve an impact and heart ripple in this lifetime. Welcome, Michelle.
Woo!
Love to
Gosh, that sounds
love
like a
having you.
really big thing, doesn't it? When you
Yeah,
actually hear that, I'm like, wow,
it is
wow.
wow. And you are amazing powerhouse lady. And can you tell us about your experience of being a parent to amazing children?
Absolutely. So, first off, I feel like it's time for everybody to just get a drink. So, if you're here with us, I want everybody to just pause the recording, stop whatever you're doing, go and get a drink. Like, I've got a drink. I've got coffee in this cup. I've got other things in this cup. And I say that because my experience as a mama bear to two neurodiverse kids is that we as mama bears don't often stop and take a drink. We don't often stop and take a breath. So that's literally where I want to start today. I want to tell you my big secret for parenting Dominique and Patrick, who are we've obviously, my husband Paul and I have done an okay job because they are 27 and 29. They have both graduated from college, one from university. And y'all, they weren't supposed to learn to read and write. Our kids were not supposed to be able to do the things that had them graduating high school, let alone college, let alone university, let alone being a journey tradesman, let alone like we weren't supposed to have this great, big, wonderful outcome. And we do. And why is it that we do? Well, because in the thick of it, one of the things that I did, one of the things that my husband did was we actually stopped. We practice the pause. So, everybody together, I don't care where you are, I want you to just stop for 1 second. Put your hand on your heart and take a big deep breath in through your nose. And then another little bit, and then let it out. You did a really good job at that. So, do it again. As a mom, in the family experience. Honestly, sometimes the best thing that I figured out that I could do for myself and my kids and my husband and all the kids that happen to be around, because we tend to be the family who, kids show up at our door, people are welcome. Come on in, we'll put an extra potato in the pot. All are welcome. We learned that sometimes just modeling taking a deep breath, stopping, my husband and I grabbing a cup of coffee, sitting down on the couch. Very quickly, our kids learned, hey, mom and dad get to have coffee time together. We strategically and intentionally built that into our days when parenting went all to heck. Because if you have a neurodiverse kid, you know what I mean by parenting going all to heck. You know that there are days when getting up, putting your own underwear on, getting coffee or tea or whatever you like to drink, sometimes getting a drink of water for yourself seems like the biggest, most awful, can't do it kind of task. If you get nothing else from me today, we're going to talk about setting up your calendar intentionally to support your kids. Parenting is the greatest gift that many people wish they could have, and they don't. And parenting is the most challenging job there ever is. As a mom, sometimes I'm wearing this hat, this one that says coach. Sometimes I'm wearing this hat, this one that says love. Sometimes I'm wearing this hat that it's a little bit hard, so it's kind of like a helmet, but some people that I've been with really know this hat. This is the I am going for it hat. This is my time to shine. This is I got red lipstick on because I get to shine in my life. I get to be a best-selling author. I get to not just be defined by being a mom. I get to show up first for me. I cannot show up for my neurodiverse kids unless I have me first, unless I'm intentional with what's in my calendar. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. If you're interested, is this supporting you all? Is this in the direction that you're thinking, wow, as a mom, how do you do it? Well, let me tell you, I'm going to add a little secret into all this. I was a mom who got injured at work really, really, really badly. I was a mom who not only was I supporting two neurodiverse kids and a wonderful husband, I lived a long ways away from family. We didn't have a lot of family right close by. We had a church family, which was wonderful. We created a support system around ourselves. But I also get injured at work, and life felt like it was falling apart. Things felt like they were spinning out of control. And the secret sauce literally had to do with this. Do you know what that says?
You believed in yourself.
I believed in myself. I went back to some basics. Breathing. Stopping and drinking all of my water every day. When things were going sideways, modeling breathing for my kids. Doing a lot of brain gym things. So even me asking you to put your hand on your heart to connect your body and your brain together. We did a lot of things together as a family. We cooked together so that we could learn math. We read every cereal box. We did a lot of experiential things. And part of that was because in community, in experiencing together support from other people, I was able to provide myself the support that I needed. Because I'm just going to ask a question. You two are both moms. How many times have you felt like you were lazy, crazy, or stupid as a mom?
Many
Many
times.
times. Many times.
Many times. I often joke and say, my daughter turned 12 and I turned stupid. I don't know how I ever managed to get dressed before that in my life. I don't know how I ever managed to, do all of the things that made me successful because she turned 12 and I apparently didn't know anything, and not much different when my son became a teenager, and his big voice, he's 6'3", and as a mom, sometimes losing myself was the biggest picture of it all. I can't support my kids if I'm not with a full cup. I got to fill my cup and sit on the couch and drink coffee with my husband. We got to set in some things that were really crucial, like he and I, we like to kiss. We like to actually have fun together and be passionate together. He's a pretty quiet guy. So, for us to have fun, sometimes it meant doing some things differently. Some of the things that we implemented in our family came from some really wise parents who had gone before me. One of those ladies' name is Mrs. Ruth, and she had 5 kids and a bazillion grandkids. And I don't know, when I first met her, she was like 90 at the time. So she just had it figured out, regardless of whether kids had abilities or disabilities. She saw kids, and our kids, my kids included, as human beings, souls in human bodies. And you treat all souls the same. When I learned that, we just got to treat our kids the same way all other kids are treated. We got to love each other as husband and wife first. That taking care of me, taking care of my husband's needs, that's one of the biggest ways that it unlocked all the other things for my kids. Because we just focused on being versus doing. We focused on being love. What does being love to Dominique, who needed one thing, and Patrick, who needed the exact opposite, mean? When she needed stimulation, sometimes he would need it to be quiet. When he needed it to be stimulating, sometimes she would need it to be quiet. So it meant really looking at my calendar. It meant really being aware of, what is it like? What legacy do I want in my family? Do I want my kids to be able to talk about love? Do I want them to be able to talk about recipes? Do I want them to be like, we used cooking a lot as a way to communicate. We learned to read. We learned to do math. We learned to bake and eat. We learned to plan our time. We learned often some real life skills, grocery shopping, taking the flyer, making a list from the flyer, checking the ingredients around the house. And I use recipes as a big way to explain to you, because all families go through things, and our family's gone through a lot in the last 15 years, 20 years. Our kids have experienced way more than most kids ever do in a lifetime. And I'm happy to say our kids are our friends. We want to spend time with them. They're now 27, 29. And it delights me to tell you that both of our kids were in our house on Saturday baking family recipes to gift to other people during the holiday season. Because it's A, love. It's B, connection. It's C, from the heart. It's D, ripple effect out into the world. But bigger than that is they learned some family legacy. This year, we've lost some people in our lives, and we were able to take some of that grief and put it into cookies. Some of the things that might not be as important to other people. My kids who are neurodiverse have figured out that family is everything.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing all those things. It's like we must let you go on and on and on, because the way you're speaking, it's coming, like making me feel that you're coming from the position of power and strength. You have never taken your neurodivergent kid as something weak and not being capable, or you were scared or something like that. So the moment I came to know that Michelle had neurodivergent kid, I wanted you for my summit, for you to come and empower, which is my and Edith's vision, to empower parents with neurodivergent kids, that they can create magic if only they focus on the strength. So tell us more and more and more, what worked, what kept on working for you. Who did you get to be to bring this up in the world, to cause and create this magic in your kid's life?
Yeah, so thank you. Thank you, Filza, for noticing that. So I'll tell you, really, it's intention. Really from a place of intention and vision. My husband and I talk and talk and talk and talked, and sometimes it's he processes one way, I process another. We learned and studied, and we're willing to believe in the possibilities of our kids. In our family, people who know us know very well, we kind of have a little bit of, we have a reputation. I'm just going to put it out there. It's a reputation. And it's a reputation of love. Can you see that? It's a reputation of love. On this board behind me here, actually, it's a vision board of sorts. And I would tell you that on that board, there are many things that actually have to do with my family, even though it's my personal vision board. There's even a 67 Corvette on there. For those of you who are men and are watching this, it is important that you know that your dreams matter. And even if it is a 67 Corvette, that matters too. But on there is also a whole lot of stuff that is focused with intention. So who do I want to be? If I want to be happy, then every day I have to think, I'm getting up and I'm going to be happy. If I want to be courageous, I had to put that out there. Like, the funny thing is, I didn't put these up just because I was doing the summit. This actually is in my office. This is how I live my life every day.
Love it.
It's not outside of me. It's who do I be every day? It's how do I show up in love, not just for me, not just for my kids, not just doing it to them. How do I show up? What ways can I show up so that I'm causing and creating what we want as a family intentionally for the future? Even when stuff goes sideways, even when you get the call from the teacher that says so-and-so has done such and such. Okay, let me look at what's working at the school. What's happening? What's going well? Got it. Let me look at what's not going well. Time of day, food that's being eaten, amount of sleep that people are getting. What are you actually trying to learn at school? What are the learning things that you need to know? And it's kind of pulling everything apart. So being a detective intentionally. There's a point in time where I just wanted to get through the day. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, can we get them up, get them fed, get them clothed, get them out to school before the day is done at school? Then can we get them there earlier? Then can we get them there earlier? Then can we get them there earlier and happier? There's not a magic answer. I don't have it here, but I do have it in my other office. Those of you who know me, you may have figured out I like glittery things. It's might be because I am really a princess inside. And as long as I remember that I'm a princess, I don't get stuck in all the parenting things. You as moms, you got to have it inside of you too. Your job in this world isn't just to parent. And I use the word just on purpose. It's more than that. It's you being who you get to be. Do you want to be remembered by your kids as the mom who is a nag? Oh, as the mom who tells them what to do? Or do you want to be that parent who creates the family vision, the family future with your kids, with your spouse? And y'all, I know not all spouses are super involved. I get that. Often the temperature in a house has to do with one parent or the other, not both together. So my biggest tip of everything else is if you are in a relationship with somebody, and that relationship is going to continue on after your children leave the nest, which if you've done what you've done as a parent, the way it's intended, they eventually are going to leave. That's your job as a parent, to grow humans who are capable, who will be able to leave the nest someday. So if you've done that and your nest is empty, are you still in relationship with the person maybe that you made the kids with, or that you parented the kids with, or that you live with now? And I use that broadly. Are you still in relationship with the person that is supposed to be your partner that you love the most? It starts with me. So if you think of a heart ripple, it starts with me. And then my partner, and then the kids. As moms, sometimes we get it wrong, quite frankly. Sometimes we put the kids above our intimate partner. Sometimes there's reason that we do that. And I know in my life, it wasn't always easy. My husband and I went through some pretty rough patch, and I wasn't sure we were going to make it. And I can tell you, he truly is my best friend now. And I want to spend time with him because we've put in the work together as parents. As parents, transforming together. You know, when our kids were having a hard time learning, we put everything on the back burner. And I did the things to be able to support them in education because they weren't getting it. They weren't getting it in a regular school, and they weren't getting it in a private school. And we got to augment what they were learning. Was it easy? No. Was it hard? No, it wasn't hard. It just meant that I got to calendar it. A year out, I got to put things on the calendar. I got this really great calendar. And in that calendar, I put in every year, what is the one thing as a family, if we are defined by nothing else this year, what is the one thing? Sometimes you'll hear that called a misogi, MISOGI. What is the one thing as a family that you want to be identified for? I'm happy to report that in this last year, my adult kids still understood what that was. Our adult kids showed up for family. Our adult kids drove hours and showed up and were present. If nothing else you get out of today, being a parent to neurodivergent kids is being present. Asking questions of them, not being the sage on the stage, being the guide on the side, asking them questions. They didn't always get what they wanted, but I could ask them the question and we could work together because we're causing and creating the future together as a family.
I wanted to ask you, that's super powerful. What would you say to a mother or father, parents who are struggling with, controlling it all or having it all together, when it's messy, when it's overwhelming, what would you give them as an advice?
So I would probably dig a little bit deeper, to be really honest with you. It's a pretty vague sort of box because sometimes people who are in that state are so controlling everything that actually releasing, letting it go, letting kids fall, letting kids experience failure, letting kids learn from their lessons. Like there's no, it's not really failure. I know I used the word failure a minute ago, but it's really falling forward. It's really, I mean, if Edison had stopped before he got to the breakthrough of electricity, right? Like before he got to, if I don't even know how to explain it other than it's in the vein of you aren't your kids and your kids aren't you. I have two kids who could not be any more different than night or day. And I am thrilled to tell you that last week it was proven to me that they truly are friends. My daughter messaged my husband. My husband couldn't fulfill the need. She messaged her brother. Her brother could do it for her. So her little big brother was able to support her because they have a relationship. You want your kids to be connected. It's not a one and done. If you don't know if it's working, sometimes it's figuring out what's happening. What do I get to shift? Where do I get to turn for me? What do I get to do for myself? That starts with your calendar, being super intimate with all of the details of your calendar. And it starts with creating an amazing little step. My last name being Petit Pas. So for people who don't know, Petit Pas translates into little steps or little feet, which is kind of funny because one of my other things that I do is as a foot care nurse. So if you get the irony of that, see, there's a foot. It's taking that time to do the little steps in your calendar. What's your intention? What's your intention for the week? What's your intention for the day? What's your intention for the month? What do you as a family? And you don't get to answer it all. It actually is a dialogue. It's communication with your family. I'm fortunate because Edith has experienced that continuously over and over in a certain space. That's really about the family experience. Phil's you've been able to experience it in a whole other space with teen leadership where I've played. I passionately believe that families get to have support, whatever that looks like. And it starts with moms setting themselves up for success. Daily routines, little chunks, breathing, drinking your coffee or tea or whatever, taking care of your needs first. But isn't that being super selfish? Nope.
No,
It's not.
it's not.
It's not.
That was my second question. Like, being a mother of two neurodivergent kids, like, how did you cope up with the guilt? Like, every day, we cannot just keep tiptoeing and do everything perfectly. Like, yes, having a vision, having a routine, everything is there, but how did you cope up with the things which you couldn't do it? Like, what was your strength at that moment?
Well, so I can tell you, can't do it alone. Can't do it alone. So the minute that I realize that I needed a team, not just that I needed a team, not that I just got to have a team, but the minute I was committed to creating community around myself and a team to support me in my parenting, whew, whole lot easier. Whole lot easier. You know what it took? Me saying to my ego, hey, I got this. Go away. We're going to get some support. Because if I don't get support, I'm going to fall over. It literally is that idea of laying myself down. I had to go, this isn't about me. If I don't take care of me, I can't take care of them. So in my calendar, I'm really strategic and have been for a long time. I worked shift work a lot. My husband worked shift work a lot. So it meant being really intimate. Those people who work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, or maybe don't work out of the house, you have a different vein than people who work shift work. If you've ever worked shift work, you know what I mean. You have to get really good at planning when you do things. So things like little strategies, like I never went to bed without a load of laundry being in. My laundry, like there's always at least one load of laundry in, which means sometimes you got to remember to take it back out. Sometimes you got to remember to switch it. And it also means it's okay if they fold the towels differently than I do. Y'all, that's a whole conversation in our house right now, just in case you wondered. They want to fold them differently. I don't like how they fold them. But is the world going to end because they folded it differently? No, because I have a 27-year-old son who can fold towels. He can wash laundry and dry laundry and fold laundry and put laundry away, and I don't got to worry about it. So it's all about calendaring. Put me on the calendar first. Make sure I have community. Make sure I have people around me. My husband doesn't know all the people I hang out with in a good way. I don't know all the people he hangs out with in a good way because he trusts me and I trust him. I went out yesterday afternoon and hung out with some girls and did some ceramics for 2 hours. Could I have been at home? Yeah. Was it fun? Absolutely. Was I a much kinder person when I came home? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do I get tired? Yes. Being a mom of neurodivergent kids is exhausting, even as adults. Even as adults, because some of the challenges are different than what they might be for other people. I'm like every other mom. My heart is big and huge, and I want to protect them. And what I know to be true is I can't protect them. I never could. Our kids are the classic kids who we ended up at the hospital a lot. In fact, I used to tell people if my son was going to play, don't worry if you have to call me and I have to take him to the hospital. It's okay. Just don't worry about it. Because he was that kid who got stitches. He was that kid who was adventurous and liked to use knives and swords, and it's okay. I think he probably learned a whole lot more by falling down a few dozen times, by getting stitches. Now, we didn't let him play with things that were not appropriate for his age, and yet accidents are going to happen whether I'm there or not. So the sooner that I realize that I can't be there all the time. My job as a mom is to create opportunities for them to learn so that they can become adults who contribute in this world. I'm going to take it that we've created it.
Thank you so much, Michelle. You've given us so much information, so many valuable, amazing tips and life stories, because that's what it is. Like, we are creating connection with our parents who have neurodivergent children with ADHD, with all different disabilities, and they get to be supported and they get to get support. They get to allow their schedule to fit them in, first, number one, and then they can give from the full cup, as you say. So can you tell us a little bit about your free opportunity, free gift for our parents today?
Yeah, absolutely. So I really thought about this for a hot minute. What do moms need? Like, really, when you think about it, what do you need that would be most supportive to you? So the family experience is a place that I play. And you're going to have the opportunity to, if you go to michellepetitpas.com, and that's MICHELLE petitpas.com / family experience. You're going to find a PDF there. And in that PDF, there are tips and tricks and a whole lot of things that are going to help you point you to who do you get to be and help you focus on your vision to create your family experience. So it's a kind of combination of a few things. It's about vision, it's about calendaring, and it's about tips. So there's a PDF that's there that you'll be able to open up. And as always, if you need me, reach out. I'm here. I'm available. Do I have it all together? No. Have I got it all figured out? No. Still learning along the road, and I've learned a lot along the way that's supportive and that can be helpful. So I'm here. Let me know what you need.
Well, amazing.
So much.
Thank you so much for sharing your generosity and your free gift and all the wisdom which you have brought together in this interview. I really want all the viewers to go through this interview and get the benefit and connect with michellepetepa.com with you and grab all the energy you have, all the positive vibes which is coming right now in me. I'm so empowered and feeling empowered right now. So, well, thank you, Michelle, for being here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank
See you
Love
soon.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye.